Audio streaming giant Spotify has released its annual data today, unveiling who users have been listening to the most. In Australia, Taylor Swift fever continued, taking the top gong for most streamed artist. Next was The Weekend, then Ed Sheeran. The Wiggles were the most played Australian artists, with Kid LAROI and pioneering rockers ACDC not far behind. Two songs now. Miley Cyrus's Flowers got the most plays by the 9 million subscribers in Australia, while the 2013 hit song Riptide by Vance Joy topped the most streamed song of an Australian artist. The data also reveals Australia leads the world in podcast plays, with 41% of people listening to at least an hour per day. With more, here's Marnie Dixit, who's a senior entertainment reporter with Yahoo. Marnie's with me in the studio. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Any surprises in your Spotify wrap this morning?
Personally, I think no surprises. Yeah. I knew what was going to come. I had Dua Lipa, Lizzo. I'm very much into pop, so that was very much, I knew what was going to happen.
You're a loyal listener.
I'm a loyal listener, 0.1% for Dua Lipa.
So what do you think of the top artists and the top songs listened to by Australians? Because there seems to be a mixture of old classics and relatively new artists there.
Yeah, I think no surprises, as you said, that Taylor Swift was the most listened to artist, over 26 billion streams. I think the biggest surprise was definitely Vance Joy's Riptide, released in 2013. No one really knows why that's grown so in popularity so much. I think even Vance Joy's people have said, we're not sure. People just love the track, I guess.
Classic is a classic,
isn't it? A classic, yeah.
So how much music are we listening to? The number of listening hours increasing?
The number of listening hours are increasing every year. Spotify does keep those stats under lock and key, but it is said that half of Australians are using Spotify, which is quite a big stat.
And Australians lead the world, as we heard there, in podcast listenership. So what are we listening to?
We're listening to quite a range. Joe Rogan came in at #1. Comedy podcast Call Her Daddy also came in at #2. We've got some Aussie ones in there, Case File and The Inspired Unemployed for Australian listens. So yeah, Australians listen to at least 1 hour of podcasts or audiobooks every week. I think a lot of people probably listen to a lot more.
So what about subscription numbers then? What have they been like this year in the face, of course, of cost of living pressures?
Yeah, so despite cost of living pressures, people really care about their music streaming. So while people might be, not buying certain things at the supermarket at the moment, they will continue to stream music. So music subscriptions have risen every single year.
And this annual wrap has become a real event. Absolutely. It gets everybody talking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all over my social media. I know that everyone's posting their favourite songs and it's become quite a thing every year.